Now, Richmond's Evan Dunfee smashed a second race walk record in as many months. The Olympic bronze medalist set a new record in the men's 35-kilometer race walk at the World Athletics Race Walking Tour Gold meeting in Slovakia, beating the previous record by 7 seconds and shaving 3 minutes off his previous best time. And this comes just over a month after beating the North American record in the 20-kilometer event, which has stood since 1999. And we are so happy to welcome Evan back to our studios. Hello, it's so good to see you.
It's always nice to be in here because it always means I have something good to report.
We're always celebrating something. But how about this? 2 new records in 2 months. How are you feeling reflecting on these achievements?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. I mean, that getting a world record is something that I sat with my coach in his office on the whiteboard when I was 13, 14 years old, putting up there as one of these, audacious goals that hey, wouldn't that be cool? And yeah, some, 20 plus years later to have it come true is just amazing.
So what was your reaction when you found out you actually set a new world record in Slovakia this past Saturday?
It was, 35 kilometers is a long way. It's about a 2-hour and 21-minute race, and I was well under the pace. So I kind of knew that I was edging towards it. And the last 4 or 5 kilometers, I started to slow down. And so, to be honest, the main feeling when I got across that finish line was relief that I didn't miss it by 1 or 2 seconds. I had kind of convinced myself an hour and a half earlier that I was going to break this record. So coming across that line, there was a big feeling of relief. And then once I settled and the moment sunk in, it was just an incredible joy.
Well, again, incredible joy in February. You beat the previous North American best at the Australian 20K, and that was the race walking championship there. So how does an athlete even train to reach and beat a record that has stood for more than 20 years?
Yeah, my training is going really, really well. I've put in tons and tons of miles. So, we're almost 3 months into the year now, and I've just clicked over 1,800 kilometers of race walking for the year. So about 600 kilometers a month. I'm out there twice a day. Being down in Australia certainly helped. My February was a lot warmer than most people's February here. So it was kind of ideal training environment to set myself up for that. And it was just my redemption tour. Paris Olympics last summer didn't go quite the way I'd hoped to, and I stepped off that finish line with an incredible amount of motivation, and these are the fruits of that motivation. So,
well, and you've been pretty open as well about your struggles in light of the 50-kilometer race walk. Yeah, that's been your bread and butter for years, right? And that was scrapped in favor of the 35-kilometer. So, what did it take to battle back from that? Adapt to a new event.
A lot of it was stopping listening to myself and listening to those around me, because my friends and family and teammates always told me that I was fast, and I didn't believe them. And eventually I just said, maybe I'll just stop listening to me for a while, and I'll listen to everyone around me who believes in me. And that's paid some pretty hefty dividends.
Well, okay, you talked about people around you. What kind of support system do you have through this whole process?
Well, I'm so lucky. I mean, I've had the same coach since I was 10 years old. We've been on this journey together. Jerry Dragomir and I have been on this journey from the very beginning, and it's so cool. It's so unique in elite sport to have that kind of relationship. And then, there's the rest of that village, my physio, my strength coach, my fiance, my parents, my teammates. It really, that the saying, it takes a village. It's so true. And this doesn't happen without their unrelenting support.
Well, and you talk about the long-term relationship with your coach, but besides competing, you have actually taken up coaching as well. So what's the advice that you usually give to athletes to help prepare them, mentally and physically?
The advice to athletes and to anyone really is just to dream big. I encourage my athletes, I encourage the kids when I go into school talks to just dream really, really big. We don't measure success by whether we achieve that dream or not, but by dreaming really big, that leaves us open to chasing after really big things. And it's a lot of fun to get to do that. And the lessons you learn along the way in that journey are incredibly valuable life lessons. So just dream big and then go out there every day and chase after those dreams.
Well, we've had a chance to check in with you various times over the years. And as you point out, when you come in here, it's usually talking about celebrating some amazing milestone as well. But just take us through. You're training twice a day. Just what does a typical day in the life of Evan Dunfee look like?
Yeah, so the days are a little bit different depending on what the workout is, but typically, morning will be like a speed session, maybe a 14-kilometer tempo, going out there doing 14 kilometers in an hour. And then the afternoon, just 6 to 8K, easy, quote unquote, still kind of walking 12 kilometers an hour. So, an envious pace to a lot of people. But yeah, it's just about putting that work in and day out.
Are you listening to something? Are you just enjoying nature? What gets you motivated?
A lot of podcasts. Listen to a lot of podcasts. It's a great opportunity to multitask, and I found myself occasionally listening to city council meetings while I'm walking, and so it's a good opportunity to catch up.
That's the last thing I imagined you were going to say, honestly. I thought it'd be some music that had a big bass line or something that would get you going. Okay, the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, that was your third time at the Games. Are you getting any news that you could share about maybe appearing in 2028?
Yeah, I never thought after the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 that I'd be saying this, but that drive is still there. I still feel like I have unfinished business, and would love to go to my fourth Games in LA. And it's so close to home. Being able to give my friends an Olympics where they could drive down to and not have to wake up at some ungodly hour to watch me compete is really tempting. So we're taking it one year at a time. I'm 35 this year, so I'm getting up there. Clearly still going strongly, but yeah, year by year. We have our World Championships in Tokyo later this summer, so that's my main focus right now, and then we'll turn our attention to 2026 and beyond.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. What about wear and tear on your body? How are you doing?
I have an amazing physiotherapist in Mary Lou Lamy, and she keeps me in one piece, and I'm very lucky to have her, because I think without her I'd be in pieces right now.
Well, I'm just thinking, I can see your walk. I can see the race walking. What is sort of the area of your body that's most affected?
Yeah, so hamstrings are sort of the main point that trouble race walkers. I've torn both my hamstrings more times than I care to admit, and so that's the ongoing struggle for me personally, is just keeping my hamstrings in one band, and that, but it's lower impact than running, so you don't have that same wear and tear, that same pounding as a runner does. So that really helps. That helps the longevity. You get some race walkers. I raced a guy at the Tokyo Olympics who was 51 years old, it was his 7th Olympic Games. Just absolutely incredible and inspiring. And so, I have lots of good veteran athletes out there that I can look to for inspiration as I go into my late 30s in this.
Well, there you go. And as you pointed out off the top, the important thing is just think big, dream big, go for the big goals. So Tokyo this summer and Olympics in 2028. We will be on the edge of our seats waiting for the news on that, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
That's Evan Dunfee. He's an Olympian, and he won bronze in the 50-kilometer race walk at the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. Now he has set a new world record time in the 35-kilometer race walk, just a month after beating the North American record in the 20-kilometer race walk that has stood since 1999. Just amazing.